Good morning. I'm in Gargrave in the Yorkshire Dales, and I'm going to attempt quite a challenging ride today in preparation for the week cycling on Dartmoor in a few weeks. I'm planning to cycle to Malham and if possible up to Malham Tarn, but it really depends on how hilly it is. It's a beautiful day in mid-September. It's gorgeous. It's warm. No wind. So this ride is really a ride to see how I get on with the hills. It's a there and back ride, so I do have the option to turn back at any point. We're coming up to the canal now. We'll stop and take a look at it.
Well, there's nothing that keeps that stuff. Oh! Sorry, I didn't see you that. Well, unless we're good at
It's definitely rising up. At least they've got a gorgeous day for it. Hello, I'm just turning right. I think if my husband and me went on a canal boat holiday, we'd fall out very quickly because I'm sure I'd do the wrong thing, press the wrong lever or whatever, like that woman, poor thing. Right, so the start up here from Gargrave is quite flat, but do not be deceived. Do not be deceived. These are the Yorkshire Dales. And the steepest climb of all is out of Malham, which probably have to walk up. I know what Malham's like. Right, we're going left here. My grandma's best friend used to live in Gargrave. She went to teacher training college in London with her before the First World War. We used to go and visit this friend who we used to call Auntie May, because everyone called people either Mrs. or Mr. so-and-so or Auntie so-and-so and Uncle so-and-so, even if they weren't related back in those days. Visiting Auntie May was really boring. Really boring. I mean, she had no children. And she was a widow. And there was nothing to do in her house. We just sat there and listened to the grown-ups talk about boring things. Didn't like visiting Auntie May. We'll be turning left soon. And then we start a series of little climbs. Right. I've done this route as far as Airton a number of times, but I've never cycled to Malham. Driven there and walked there numerous times, but never cycled. So it's a bit of an experiment. And again, I'm cycling with the heavy chain lock wrapped around the seat post, which I will be doing when I'm on Dartmoor, so I need to get used to its weight. And we turn left. Well, it's not really a left. It's more like a straight on, isn't it? Up to Airton. This is Airton. Airton Hall up there, which looks quite Victorian. Not sure what they do there these days. I've got a new chest harness. I bought a more expensive one, a lot better than the one I've been using. It's all padded and quite pleased with it. And I've also bought a waterproof GoPro camera housing for if it rains when I'm on Dartmoor. Here's the entrance to Airton Hall. Starting to climb a bit here. still got something catching on my bike, and I think it's the chain. I need to look at it before I go away. There's a really pretty house up here with an ancient gable ream on the right up here. Just beyond that white car on the right, you can probably see it jutting out. Spoilt by the satellite dish on top of it. Ashton Lodge. That's really old, that. Looks like a sort of room that would be haunted. We have the option of cutting off this, not main road, but the direct road to Malham where the traffic goes, just along here, which is a bit longer. So we might go that way on the way there, and then this other way, quicker way on the way back. I shall see. We're bordering on the limestone dales here. So we turn right here, following the cycle route sign. To Winterburn. I think at Winterburn there's a really old house, a hall, a manor house. Looks like the sort of thing you might get in a drama about, I don't know, the Civil War or something. English Civil War, that is. Further on here, we'll be turning left over a tiny, tiny little bridge. Oh, that's that manor house. Can you see it ahead? It is really old. Gotta be haunted. Definitely got to be haunted. I think people live there still. Hope you can see it on the camera. Isn't it lovely? Let's take a photo. Friar's Head, it's called. I have to look it up. It's got a sundial above the main entrance. The main entrance looks like it might be Elizabethan. A bit of early classical architecture coming in there, which happened in Elizabethan England, with an arch, a round arch. I am lucky to live relatively close to the Yorkshire Dales. It took me just over an hour to get here, which isn't too bad. It tends to take me about an hour to get to all the places that I cycle from in a kind of hour's circumference around Leeds. We used to come out here every weekend when I was working in an advertising agency. We'd come out at weekends walking here to just get some headspace and get away from the relentless world of offices and advertising. Sometimes we'd stay over in a pub, bed and breakfast or something. And there was that memorable and embarrassing time when we did that. And it was back in the days before en suites, and even back in the day before you used to lock your room in a pub, bed and breakfast. And so I needed to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, and I was pretty much half asleep and a bit disorientated with the darkness, and I went to the toilet, to the bathroom down the corridor. When I came back, I opened the door to what I thought was our bedroom, but it wasn't. And I just remember this man, kind of elderly man, and his wife, and he just sat up in bed and said, "What the actual bleep, bleep, bleep?" Oh God, did that embarrass me or what? And I dreaded meeting him at breakfast the next day. Hopefully we managed to avoid him, I don't know, but something I'll never forget. Talking about en suites, we were going to stay in a pub in near Kettlewell, shall I say. I won't say where it is. And hang on. By the way, we turn left here over the little bridge. I'll tell you more about this in a moment. Not very exciting though, just quite funny. Airton, Malham, we turn left. Well, I will say where it is. It was Home. And after the embarrassing incident in Kettlewell, I rang up the pub in Home and said, "Do you have any ensuite bedrooms?" And the landlord said, "We are a typical Yorkshire pub or inn or whatever. We don't have en suites like they do down south." Okay, fine. We didn't book, but it was funny because I imagine they have en suites now. I mean, we're talking mid-1980s. Right, bit of a climb coming up along here, over there. Yes, climb. Right, climb coming up. Bit of a ease off before we get this bit. Hi there. Whoops. Right. And there's another climb coming up. Hello.
Over there.
Yeah. The dry stone walls are becoming more limestone than the other stone, which I assume is sandstone. I don't know what it is about cycling, but it makes my nose run. Which isn't so bad when you're not filming, but I hope I managed to edit out all the nose blowing sessions. Unfortunately, a bit of sniffing. Don't know why that is. Does it when I'm walking as well. Which reminds me, probably good thing to have a drink. I'm still on the protein shakes made with soy milk and with large ice cubes that take longer to melt. Really nice. This route so far, you can go to various places. You can cycle over the moors to settle, like I've done in other videos, and also you can head through Hellifield into Lancashire into the Forest of Bowland towards Barnoldswick, which apparently is pronounced Barlick to the locals. I've got a friend who used to live there and she confirms that. The canal goes there as well, all the way from Gargrave. Must do some canal cycling. It's years since I have. Another climb coming up. This is the village before Airton. Quite warm. I wish I hadn't worn a base layer. Back in my shorts again though. But today is an ideal day for cycling here in the Dales. No wind. Unbroken blue sky. And quite warm, but not too warm. I once did this route on the hottest day of the year, back in either 2018 or 2019. Made a video of it. It was hot. And I did the long cycle ride. It took me almost as far as Pendle in Lancashire. In fact, I think it did take me beyond there. Now we go down the hill to cross the river before going up the other side and into the village of Airton. River, of course, is the River Air. Comes from Malham. Its the source is really Malham Tarn. Flows underground and comes out at Malham Cove. Famous for the water babies story with Charles Kingsley. Here's the bridge over the river. Let's have a little stop. I like it here.